Welcome back to Gallery Watch. My name is Tasha, and of course, this is still the show E-Magazine. You can always keep locked by also commenting on our social media platforms, Metropole TV KE on all our social media platforms. Ongeeni tu sisi tutawajibu, guys. Today we are joined in studio by a very wonderful guest. And before I introduce him, I'll tell you what we're talking about today. So we're talking about digital distribution and added advantage in Kenyan music business. And we got a hold of none other than Jinx, who is an artist relations manager for Boomplay, who, if I do say so myself, is my cousin. Karibu sana.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm so proud of you. Look at you with your own TV show.
It
was all a dream.
It was all a dream, man. But tusiwaambie tu. Story for another day.
I feel you.
Pale inside Amas, you inaitwa nini? Forbes. Yeah. And you're going to be one of those guys who are going to be like, yo, Tasha, tulianza na yeye mbali.
For sure, 100%.
Right?
100%.
Anyway, let's just start off with, telling us a little bit about what you do for Boomplay.
Okay, yeah, so I'm the artist relations manager at Boomplay, and what that entails is mainly the liaison or the contact person between the artists and the resources that we have to offer artist support. So that can be in-app, where we do playlisting. You can get on some of the features on the homepage, like the slide, playlist covers. It could also be offline, where we do billboards and things of that nature. We also do content promotion on social media. There's that, and as well as media partnerships. So all these resources are available to artists depending on their plans and their releases and what fits where. And I'm just the contact person to kind of like evaluate who gets what.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, the reception has been. Maybe you can tell us about that. But judging from a couple of events that I have gone to, Boomplay, that is Bahati album, Mr. Seed album, Kiddy, who else? Nasty C, this guy from Ghana, what's his name?
Sarko, yeah.
These are some big names who have actually come to Kenya, and you're just, one of those guys who's actually made sure that, they're actually, exposed.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about a little bit about the reception that you guys have received, in Nairobi and in Kenya?
It's been incredible. Like I've joined the team, I want to say like 6-7 months now. I joined earlier this year in February, and I found a very vibrant team. I found, people who are dedicated to the job, people who are passionate about the music industry, and the team dynamics are amazing. So, first of all, I have to just give a big shout out to the team in general, For my role, since joining, it's definitely been amazing. Like I've always been passionate about the music industry,
of course,
and I've been networking, throughout my time in media and even as a recording artist and things like that. So, that kind of network has made me jump right in, so to speak. I know that's why you can see like a Nasty C event, a Kiddie event, because those relationships do exist. And so it's just been amazing to plug into a system that I share a passion with.
Right. Before we continue with regards to Boomplay, Jinx, as in, the list is endless. If I start, mentioning the type of people that you've actually interviewed, from B.O.B. to Nasty C, like you talked about, to Sakadi,
Ty
to
Dolla Sign,
T.I. as well?
T.I.
T.I. It's the list is endless. You're the go-to guy if if an artist, a hip hop artist, is coming to Kenya and they want an interview because your sound with the hip hop. There's nobody. Let me tell you, there is nobody in this Kenya who actually knows or hears the hip hop sound like you do.
I appreciate that.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
appreciate that.
You coming into Boomplay, you also added your own flavor. You know,
100%.
How's that been for you?
I mean, it's been an amazing transition, honestly. Like I said, I fit right in, you know, and I found a good team that supports me as well, believes in the vision. Because I tend to be very disruptive, you know. I look at myself as an innovator. Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, you never know how that would go most times, you know. Sometimes you might step on, you might ruffle a few feathers here and there. But, you know, for the most part, the team has been supportive. You know, when I go way too out of line,
they're like, hey,
come back.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the transition has been seamless, in my opinion. So in the 6-7 months that I've been at Boomplay, it's been absolutely phenomenal. I cannot wait to, you know, continue to make impact in the music business, and most specifically in hip-hop, which I really am passionate about.
All right. So my next question would be, now, Boomplay's vision is to build the largest and most reliable music ecosystem.
Yeah.
For artists in Africa. So has Boomplay Kenya pulled its weight in terms of trying to expose Kenyan artists to the world? I mean, I feel like a couple of people have been seen, and this is courtesy of Boomplay. Let's talk about New York by Hattie on Times Square. On
Times Square, for sure, for sure.
That is Boomplay.
That's huge, yeah.
But tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, we also have regional offices in 4 key markets. I think now 5. So we have Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana, Nigeria, and Cameroon. And in those teams, you know, you have a big team. You have in those regions. I mean, you have a big team. My bad. That's.
They're gonna get that for you.
Yeah, that's focused on the. You have a big team there that's focused on the local music scene and how we can, you know, build it up. Not only from a promotional standpoint, but also just business-wise, like working with the artists to figure out their plans and amplifying the same. So I'd say, you know, as an artist relations manager in Kenya, there is another one in Nigeria and Ghana and the like. So we work together to cross-promote. So if there's a big release in Nigeria, you know, we'll get a plan together, you know, for certain artists. We'll get promotion across the board. And that helps to expose artists to different markets. Yeah. For sure.
And I mean, you've talked about Nigeria and Ghana. These are very huge markets.
Yeah, for sure.
And one thing about Boomplay being an ecosystem is that you're bringing worlds and, you know, worlds of music together. There's been talks of Play Kenyan music. Boomplay is trying to, you know, cut across that. In terms of, guys, we can't work alone. So you bring in West African artists, let's do Sarkodie. These are guys who actually have huge numbers. Is Boomplay saying, let's stop all this Kenyan madness, play Kenyan music, which is good, but we need these huge markets, you know, to expose Kenyan music.
The intention behind that is to really encourage our Kenyan artists to travel. You understand? So if you look at an initiative like the Beats and Vibes that was in Viri and Kiddy, you know, we really jumped on that because we saw the vision of, okay, there are some guys who are really trying to bring West Africa and East Africa together through collaboration and through, you know, putting together unique experiences for the artist as well. So those kind of initiatives are aligned with our big picture strategy, which is when, you know, Sauti Sol have their new record, they should be doing their media tour in Nigeria and Ghana and everywhere else. And it shouldn't be a bad thing, right? Exactly, and that should be the standard. Because most of those artists from the markets you've mentioned, most of the time they come here, it's not even for a big show. They'll come here, do their media tour, maybe do a small showcase, go back home, and after a few months, then they get booked for the big show. So I think artists should invest in, you know, going out there, going to these different markets, explore, meet people, network, and it's been tested and proven. I think it works.
And of course, this is just saying that, you know, like, it's going to, this is what I'm getting from what you're saying, it's going to, like, stop that notion that, you know, Nigerians don't play our music.
Ghanaians of course, they're just not exposed to it.
They're not just
so
exposed to
even someone could listen to a Kenyan song and not even know it's Kenyan or who the artist is. But if you go there physically, it helps. It does help. And I think we need to be more intentional with that approach of, guys, let's travel out there and get ourselves out there more.
Okay, let's talk about matters distribution now. Boomplay throughout this year rather, has taken up huge artists. I'm talking about Mr. Seed. Forget Bahati. Who else? Kenyan artists.
So many. Otile Brown, Nadia Mukami.
Yeah. So what's the aim of Boomplay with regards to Kenyan music distribution for all Kenyan artists in general, and not just big artists. The people who are coming up.
Yeah.
And they've actually, put their music with Boomplay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we literally have more than 10,000 Kenyan artists on the platform.
What?
And the number is growing
And they get
rapidly.
paid?
Yeah. Based off your streams. Everyone gets paid off your streams, right? So it's a big number of artists, and they do believe in the platform. They're coming directly to us, or either delivering their content through aggregators, but we do have a big number.
Yeah.
Now,
how do you manage
when you see such initiatives like Bahati's album rollout and how we were heavily involved in such a project, it's also to set some kind of precedence, to also give guys like a blueprint on how you should roll albums out.
What?
All the stops.
Really
look at the launch party, look at the media strategy, look at the promotion, look at the marketing, pay attention to those kind of things. So when you do those grandiose kind of rollouts, it's for everyone to see, especially the artist, the artist community, to look at and say, okay, I can pick up a few things here and there on how I can roll out my album as well. And we also have initiatives that are meant to empower the emerging acts. Like we have Boom Spotlight that we're going to be rolling out in the next few months. It's a showcase that we're basically going to be curating for emerging and established acts.
Right.
Where they come together, mix it up, perform, whether for an intimate setting or as things open back up for a larger crowd. But the intention behind that is to put these people in the same room so they can learn from each other, or the emerging act can pick a few things from the established, and the established act can do the same. So Boom Spotlight is definitely an initiative, and we also have dedicated playlists for emerging acts such as New Nairobi and things of that nature. So we have a team of curators that are always digging to find who's going to be the next superstar.
Wow.
So that's a very strong passion point as well.
I mean, let's talk about governance. Now, governance in Kenya has made it really difficult for Kenyans to earn a living. If I don't know if I'm making sense, through their craft. Now, in terms of revenues, we have royalties, I mean, ushaiona M-Pesa, yani mulamwa ametuma M-Pesa, yani ametuma screenshot, the whole internet is going wild. Oh, nimetumiwa 1,900 shillings. These are my royalties. I'm at Otile Brown, and this is a big artist, So, I mean, what part has Boomplay actually played, in ensuring that artists are eating from their craft? And I'm not just talking about Otile Brown. I'm also talking about young artists.
So our royalty splits are very fair. The artist actually gets majority of the revenue generated from their streams. As far as governance, it's the policies are just not being enforced, because there is policy to protect the artist. It's not being enforced. As far as collection, these collection agencies, we've all heard about them. They collect and then distribute generally. What would be fair would be like a scientific way of distribution, where you earn based off the number of plays you get.
Right.
So we haven't been able to get there yet, and that's also another thing. Where government can help with policy and enforcing said policy. So until we get oh my God.
Well, it looks like the talkback is not. It's not liking you today.
Yeah, I know.
Let's move on swiftly.
But yeah, like if we just get to a place where I'd say the industry kind of strong arms government to make sure that the policy is enforced, then I think it could be something monumental for the industry. But as far as Boomplay, we are not into politics.
All right.
Understand? We stay in our own lane, we do our business, we're in the business of music streaming.
Right, not
and
just
that's,
okay, right.
And that's exactly what we're focused on.
All right, so I mean, the director is telling me that I'm out of time, but it's like this conversation is now starting to get to the climax. But I mean, let me just ask you 2 more questions. Now, with regards to streaming, how far is Boomplay's reach? And what are the advantages of a Kenyan musician using Boomplay to promote their music business-wise?
We have over 66 million monthly active users on the app.
What?
So it's a
Africa
wide...
alone?
Yeah. We're available in 45 countries on the continent. And, you know, with internet penetration now approaching, I think it's 60% in Kenya, you know, majority of the people have access, and the numbers are pretty good. So that's an incentive to be on Boomplay. We also offer artist support. We have a big team here in Kenya and in all those regional spaces that I mentioned. And we also have our team in HQ. And the headquarters back in China, where they also allocate push globally and have global strategies for the same. So it's just a big team that is dedicated to Africa. And that's, I think, the best pitch you can get right now.
Okay, so I mean, you know, gone are the days when artists relied on distribution companies. Like, I remember distribution companies, and you can tell me about this because I mean, back in the day, man, you were a rapper. But getting
active.
your music out there, you know, like being a good rapper and getting your music out there in Kenya are 2 different things. Those days, distribution in Kenya was like, let's talk about, you know, distribution in like a huge country like America, where you had a company,
a record label,
a record label. You pay the distribution to distribute your music. They go to a factory, you know, you have tapes, you have CDs. I mean, tell us a little bit about, you know,
how it's evolved?
Yeah, how it's evolved.
Yeah, I mean, distribution, like you said, was very like the brick and mortar, I'd say, model, where you essentially needed a record label, and if you didn't have a record label, you paid exorbitant amount of fees to get production done. Nowadays, you know, with distribution being digital, hey man, you can just be on your phone, upload your stuff on your laptop. You understand? Upload your stuff directly and then go to social media and get it to your fans, and you could also have some on-ground activation. So, I mean, it's changed a lot. The cost of doing business has drastically changed that, and that's why you're seeing a lot more artists now getting into the game, you know, because the entry, the cost
it's
entry,
way
I think.
Cheaper now.
Exactly. So digital distribution has definitely changed the game for a lot of people, a lot of people. And Boomplay is at the forefront to make sure that you take full advantage of the digital space.
All right, that has been Jinx, who was representing Boomplay right here on Metropole TV, and this conversation was so exciting, but we are out of time. We're gonna pay some bills, but we'll be right back.
I won't drop them.